when a B-17 tail fell with a gunner inside. The early morning sun filtered through the thin clouds, casting a faint golden glow over the airfield. In the midst of World War II, this quiet moment was a rare reprieve for the men of the 398th Bomb Group stationed in England. Among them was Sergeant William Billy Carter, a tail gunner on a B-17 Flying Fortress, a role as perilous as it was vital. Billy was a man of simple dreams and a heart filled with a deep sense of duty. Billy's B-17, affectionately named Silver Angel, was set to join a bombing mission over Germany that day. The mood was somber as the crew prepared. They knew the risks. Billy exchanged brief but heartfelt words with his crewmates before taking his position in the tail of the plane, a cramped, isolated compartment with a panoramic view of the sky and battlefield. As the engines roared to life, the aircraft took off, joining a formation of other flying fortresses. The mission was dangerous, not just because of enemy fighters but also due to the heavy anti-aircraft fire that awaited them. Billy, despite his nerves, stayed focused. He was the eyes at the rear, the last line of defense. The mission proceeded as planned until the formation neared its target. Suddenly, the sky erupted with flak bursts, black clouds of shrapnel that seemed to appear out of nowhere. Billy's heart raced as he scanned the sky for enemy fighters. A formation of German Messerschmitts swooped in, guns blazing. Billy's hands moved instinctively, gripping the twin .50 caliber machine guns. He fired bursts of tracer rounds, forcing one fighter to break off. The Silver Angel jolted violently as flak hit the fuselage. Billy barely had time to register the impact before a deafening explosion rocked the tail section. The unthinkable happened. The tail section, with Billy still inside, was severed from the rest of the aircraft. Spiraling uncontrollably, it plummeted toward the earth. In the chaos of freefall, Billy's training kicked in. Though the situation seemed hopeless, he struggled to secure himself with his parachute. The cold wind howled around him as the fragmented tail continued its descent. Billy's mind raced with thoughts of home. His mother's gentle smile, his father's stern but loving words, and his younger sister's laughter. He didn't want his story to end this way. Then, as the tail neared the ground, something miraculous occurred. The wreckage landed in a dense forest, its fall cushioned by the canopy of trees. The impact was severe, but it wasn't fatal. Billy, battered and bruised, found himself alive amidst the twisted metal and shattered glass. Billy crawled out of the wreckage, his body aching with every movement. He surveyed his surroundings, a quiet forest far removed from the chaos of war. He was miles behind enemy lines with no map, no food, and little hope of immediate rescue. For days, Billy relied on his survival instincts. He found water from a stream and scavenged for edible plants. The nights were cold and lonely, and each sound in the darkness made his heart pound. Despite his dire circumstances, he found solace in small moments, the rustling of leaves, the glimmer of stars through the treetops. As he sat by a small fire one evening, Billy reflected on his life and the war. He realized how often he had taken simple things for granted: a warm meal, a friendly conversation, a safe place to sleep. The war had stolen much from him and his comrades, but it couldn't take away his humanity, his hope. He thought about his crewmates and prayed they had survived the attack. He resolved that if he made it out alive, he would honor their sacrifices by living a life of purpose and gratitude. After a week of wandering, Billy encountered a small group of French resistance fighters. They were wary at first, but Billy's broken French and his genuine demeanor convinced them he wasn't a threat. They took him in, providing food, clothing, and a sense of safety he hadn't felt in days. The resistance fighters helped Billy get word to Allied forces. Weeks later, he was smuggled across enemy lines and returned to his unit. The reunion was bittersweet. He learned that the Silver Angel had gone down, and not all his crewmates had survived. Billy's survival was hailed as a miracle, but he didn't see himself as a hero. Instead, he saw himself as a man given a second chance. A chance to live not just for himself but for those who couldn't. Years later, Billy returned home after the war. He built a quiet life, raising a family and dedicating himself to helping others. He often spoke to young people about his experiences, not to glorify war but to share the lessons he had learned. Life, he would say, is fragile and precious. Don't wait for a moment of crisis to realize what truly matters. Cherish your loved ones, find gratitude in the little things, and never lose hope, no matter how dire the circumstances. Billy's story became a beacon of resilience and a reminder of the strength of the human spirit. Though the war left scars on his body and soul, it also gave him a profound understanding of life's value. In the end, Billy's tale wasn't just about surviving a fall. It was about rising from it, stronger and more compassionate than before.